Hi there. Winter is an extremely dangerous season for animals because in this period, they are especially helpless and often get in trouble. Sometimes their lives depend only on people's support. Here are some cases of real heroes rescuing animals in need. All the rescues in this video are real and are the demonstration of kindness and compassion. The very nice dog managed somehow to get stuck on the ice covering Lake Cannon in the Russian city of Chita. The rescuers rushed to help, but they all needed their proficiency to be incredibly careful not to let the ice break. Inch by inch, the people were releasing the dog's paws and tail, and at last, the pup was free. The lucky dog was brought to the shore, dried with a towel, and released. It had a lucky day, you know. Wild animals also often have to struggle with the ice in winter. Look at this moose, stuck in the middle of the river. The creature was so exhausted that it wasn't able to move. When the rescuers managed to take him out of the ice, they had to pull the moose all the way to the shore. It was a challenge for the rescuers to take the animal from the ground, but he stood up and the shaking went away. What a happy ending. An unlucky dog was stranded in a South Jersey river, being trapped after falling through the ice. He was rather far from the shore, and the rescuers had to scrape through the broken ice to get to him. The process took a lot of time, and the people on the shore were very nervous, realizing that the dog could be too exhausted to survive. At last, the rescuers reached the place where the poor dog was struggling for his life. They all moved towards the shore, where the pup was taken by other members of the rescue team. They dried the pup with towels as quickly as possible and transported him to the vet. Everybody who had seen the rescue operation sighed with relief. What can be more dangerous for any rescuer than trying to save an animal that had fallen into the frosty water of a half-melted river? Crawling on the surface, ready to crack any time, the rescuer was approaching the poor creature. Unfortunately, the man had to be put into the water himself, but reaching the dog wasn't the hardest part. The hardest part was to bring the exhausted dog to the shore. When both the man and the dog were on the ice, they started moving very slowly. With the help of the second rescuer and the rope, the poor pup was pulled out of the water. At last, the man and the dog were luckily on the shore. This accident happened on icy Lake Erie in Michigan. The dog got stuck, and the rescue team were doing their best to save her life. The dog had spent too much time in cold water, and one of the rescuers who had approached her first and was massaging her, trying to warm her up. At last, another rescuer was able to come closer with the boat. The rescuer team was acting very coordinated and fast because every minute mattered. The dog was taken by an ambulance to the hospital, where the doctors managed to help him. The real life or death struggle happened to two horses. They had fallen into the thawing hole in ice in Hamilton Township, Monroe County. The rescuers rushed to help immediately, but it was such a challenge because each of the horses weighed more than 1,500 pounds. The people had to cut a trench in the ice to make approaching the horses possible. It took the rescuers more than an hour to take the animals out of their trap. With warm blankets, people were drying the horses carefully. When the animals felt better, they were sent to the vet to check their health condition. And they are sure to be okay thanks to the rescue team's quick actions. The cute dog got into trouble not far from home on an icy pond in Boone County, Kentucky. The owner of the dog had always been worried about the pond, and on that day when he hadn't seen the naughty creature near the house, he rushed to the pond and observed the dog's head stuck out of the ice water. He realized that he wouldn't be able to help his pet by himself and called 911. They sent the fire department rescuers that quickly approached the dog in a boat and took the poor girl out of the water. The dog and her owner were happily reunited, and the latter really hopes his dog won't repeat her mistake again. Sometimes rescuers even have to swim in icy water to save the 5-year-old golden retriever's life. The ice had broken up on the Charles River, and both the rescuers were in the water. The task became more complicated because the frightened and disoriented dog was trying to swim in the opposite direction, and the rescuers had some trouble with catching the dog. At last, they managed to catch the dog. When both the man and the dog came closer to the shore, one more rescuer came to help his buddy. Altogether, they took the poor pup out of the water. The rescuers dried the dog with a towel, waiting for the owner to arrive. Firefighters often come to rescue animals stuck on the ice. This time, they saved a German Shepherd that had fallen through the ice covering a pond near his home. The ice was very thin, and the rescuer had to move very carefully not to break it. But he failed, and fell into the cold water near the dog. He couldn't complete his mission without the help of his partner. Finally, both the rescuers and the dog were on the shore. The dog was trapped sitting on the drifting ice plate. He was noticed by a man who was not the dog's owner, but fortunately turned out to be in the right place at the right time. The rescuers, using a safety wire, approached the plate and took the poor dog off his trap. The next step was to bring the frightened creature to the shore. The shore was too bold, and the rescuers needed assistance in getting them with the dog out of the water. So, other members of the rescue team hurried to give them a helping hand. We can't even imagine what could have happened if the passerby hadn't seen the poor dog on the ice. Lucky pup. How did this fawn get on the icy surface of the lake? No one knows. But all the people taking part in the rescue operation realized that the sooner they took the poor creature, the higher chance for it to survive. The ice was very thin, and the rescuer was approaching extremely slow. The wild animal was incredibly scared, both because of its trapped condition and the people near it. The main challenge for the rescuer was to move the animal towards the shore without hurting it. He pushed the deer delicately with his paddle boat until they both turned out to be on the shore. The puzzled fawn couldn't make out where he was till the rescuer didn't help him to set his face towards the shore. At last, the fawn understood that it was free and ran away. What a lucky fella. A Coast Guard station Frankfurt crew had to rescue a dog from the ice-filled channel in Frankfurt. Every life matters. That's why the rescuers jumped into the frozen water immediately, and with the help of another crew member, managed to take out the naughty boy from the icy slush. The rescuers also needed some help because they weren't able to get out of the water by themselves. But all the crew completed the rescue mission perfectly. The brave Argentino dog, Max by name, was chasing a coyote into the Chase Reservoir. The poor dog didn't notice how he got trapped in the water surrounded by ice. Max was struggling to be above water when the West Metro fire crew arrived. A diving rescuer, being attached to a rope, immediately started crawling onto the ice. But he broke through the ice and was near the dog as quickly as he could be. When the dog was in his arms, the other rescuers pulled them both out of the water. All the actions of the crew were fast and perfectly coordinated, and the pup was able to avoid any harm except being very scared. The owner was very grateful to the rescue team. The cute husky dog was successfully rescued off of the frozen Kansas River near Rossville. The pup must have been walking on the surface of the lake when his paws eventually froze to the ice covering the water. Moving along the icy surface, the rescuer was risking to fall into the water. It took him a lot of time to get to the dog and pull him back towards the shore. The rescuer who did save the poor dog suffered a little bit of hypothermia because he spent too much time on the ice. But now both the dog and the rescuer are safe and sound. That's the end for today. Have you experienced the emotions I had when watching these videos for the first time? The people from this list are real heroes, and I'm really happy that they are so good at doing their job. See you next time.